Hello there and welcome. Today we are taking a full look at the long anticipated Nerf Ultra Speed. In the box is of course the Nerf Ultra Speed itself, two of its proprietary magazines that we're going to talk about more in a minute, 24 Nerf Ultra AccuStrike darts, and the instructions. The blaster requires 6 C batteries, unfortunately no rechargeable battery, kind of a bummer. Now before we go more in depth into the blaster itself, these are the magazines that it ships with. Now, they're 12-round magazines that are not compatible with the other Ultra Blasters, which is a huge bummer. That's quite disappointing if you've bought as many Ultra Blasters as I have, and if you are already invested in the Ultra system. This is disappointing. However, these do lend themselves to the ridiculous rate of fire this is supposed to have. These are closer to rival magazines where there's this little button and the darts essentially launch out if you hold this down. And loading it is interesting because you can only stick them in from the top, just like this. Now the blaster itself is absolutely gorgeous. Well, on the right side that is. On the left side it's pretty plain, but this side looks phenomenal. It feels really good in the hands. The grip, I'm happy to report, is very comfortable. The thumb hole stock, while looking cramped, does not feel that bad when you're holding it. The stock is of adequate length. It feels more compact, like a Raven, something along those lines. They have one of these amazing AFGs right here. This one's more angled than the one on the Amp or Focus. You have one tactical rail on the blaster, and it's right here. It doubles as a carry handle. You have a sling mount. Then you have the jam door on the left-hand side. You can pull it open, just like that. You cannot rev the blaster when the jam door is open, unfortunately. Now the magazine release is right here, and I'm happy to report it is a nice magazine release. Then you have a rev trigger and a trigger right here. The rev trigger is a little bit small, reminds me of the one on the Infamous, but in my opinion, not actually uncomfortable. Now let's take some shots at our target and see what that rate of fire looks like. Oh man. Oh, wow. It is a very nice rate of fire. Quicker than a Hyperfire, quicker than a Regulator. Of course, the Perseus and Prometheus are very quick, but those are ball blasters. This is more comparable to a Mag Strike. That is impressive rate of fire. I am so far very happy with this. Let's take this thing outside and see how it does. All right, here we are outside with the Speed. Let's grab some numbers. We should be expecting about 100 FPS out of Ultra. Hopefully this is one of the ones that hits around 110. We're going to see. We're going to do 6 in semi-auto and then a mag dump of the rest. Oh, I accidentally just fired 2. 100, 91, 96, 91. Let's just do full auto now because it's hard to get readings in single fire with this thing. And that dropped down to 79. So unfortunately, not having a rechargeable battery is causing a lot of bog down when you go in full auto, just like a Hyperfire. But in single fire, we're getting around 90 to 100. Let's switch our magazines. All right, now we're gonna fire some up here. So those are only getting around 80 feet. The Ultra AccuStrike darts, while being a lot more accurate and definitely the most practical Ultra dart, they do decrease Ultra's performance. Let's do the rest in full auto. It's so fast. All right, now let's go back inside and collect our thoughts. All right, now what are my final thoughts on the Nerf Ultra Speed? I think the ergo is really nice on this blaster. Of course, you saw the rate of fire is amazing. The FPS is all right, maybe a little bit low for Ultra. It was hard for me to get single shots because it's that quick. I love the fact that you get a spare magazine and you can store it. The most annoying things about this blaster, for one, the magazines are not compatible with standard Ultra. It's annoying to not have that cross compatibility, but these magazines allow for that insane rate of fire. I hope Hasbro sells these separately. That would be really cool. The other unfortunate thing about this blaster is the fact it does not take a rechargeable battery. It has a ridiculously high rate of fire, just like the Nerf rival Perseus and Prometheus, but those blasters came with rechargeable batteries. This, you have to go buy 6C batteries to run it, which is really unfortunate, and I would be willing to pay an extra 30 bucks for this if it came with a rechargeable battery. I think that would have made more sense. Besides my critiques, in my very honest opinion, I would be lying if I said I didn't absolutely love this thing. Its look is great, the ergonomics are really nice, I really love the color scheme, at least on the right hand side. I have probably had more fun playing with the Speed than any other blaster that's come out this year. The Ultra Screamers, while not being accurate, are so much fun to use. If you're a fan of the Ultra Screamer darts, that alone is a reason to get this thing. Firing 12 Screamers in less than 2 seconds is so much fun. It's like a mag strike that you don't have to pump. And the rate of fire on this thing is truly insane. Now, should you buy the Nerf Ultra Speed? If you're like me and you've bought the previous Ultra Blasters, or 1 or 2 Ultra Blasters, and you've found them to be fun, right now it's probably my favorite of all the Ultra Blasters. When you compare it to the Select, which is the other full auto blaster in the line, the rate of fire is so much nicer on the Speed. If you don't mind Ultra, I think you'll have a ton of fun with this blaster. Now, if you don't like Ultra, this blaster is probably not for you. It doesn't take a rechargeable battery, and it's relatively expensive up there, $70. This is the most expensive of the Ultra Blasters. If you're an Ultra enjoyer and want a really fun blaster with a super high rate of fire, consider checking out the Ultra Speed. This one is really cool. Overall, I am very satisfied with the Nerf Ultra Speed. Thank you very much for watching. I would love to hear what you think of this blaster, and happy nerfing.